Today I fucked up by expecting my family to pay for my birthday dinner. Yesterday I turned 18 years old. For the past 6 years, like clockwork, every day on my birthday we'd go to the same place for dinner and I'd always get the same thing. For those who are a bit confused, I have extreme OCD and high-functioning autism. Which means I'm very well regulated and like things to stay the same way that they always have been. Back to the story. Every year on my birthday we go to Applebee's. The first thing I would get is the steak and shrimp parmesan with a side of loaded mashed potatoes, and cheesy steamed broccoli. Hate me or not, with a side of mozzarella sticks. In total it's around $30, a bit expensive, I know. I couldn't really tell something was off until a bit later because when me, my mother, my stepfather, and my older brother sat down. They didn't really say anything. I was confused at first and started tapping my fingers on one another like I always do. The conversation went a little bit like this. Not an exact replica. Mother. Well. I was rather confused. Well? Mother. Aren't you gonna call the waiter over? This gave me extreme anxiety. I have extreme issues with speaking with people and I tend to stutter and get very, very scared, if that's the right word. I asked her if she could do it and she does it in a huff. My dad and brother staring nonchalantly. As she calls the waiter over, the alarm bells are ringing in my head. This is never how it went before. As the waiter gets to the table he asks everyone what they want and everyone's orders. As he gets to me, my mother stops him and tells him, "Separate bill." This is when my heart began beating very fast. I don't know a job. All the money I get is from our neighbors raking leaves. I just kinda freeze. I don't really say anything and I get a really bad stomachache from the anxiety. This is where I am conflicted on whether I am the asshole or not. My mother would explain at the table that now that I am 18 I should be able to pay for my own things. I was already feeling nauseous from the situation, so I just said I don't have the money. My mom kinda huffs and shoos the waiter away. This soured the dinner party. However, my mom also paid for my 23-year-old brother. My family were calling me an entitled little a-hole the whole ride home. When I got home I just ran to my room and cried. They've been ignoring me the whole day. I may be bad at social cues, but my family has never acted like this before, I mean never. They've been treating me horrible the whole day. I feel very angry and upset at my family. If I would have been warned I would have saved my raking money. I also don't mean this to be a validation post. I have all the information you have. I'm just very confused and I am terrible with social cues. Asperger's, am I right? My family gets a little tight on money. I guess I really should have asked before I assumed they were gonna pay it for me. But I missed out on my birthday dinner because I wasn't mature enough to bring my own money. I'm just gonna rake leaves for a couple weeks to order it from takeout. Edit 1. Before you start attacking my family, this could totally just be me missing some social cue or something. I'm very terrible at picking up hints. Edit 2. I understand what my parents was horrible. But I can't claim I didn't do anything wrong when there was nothing wrong beforehand. I've cried about it and tried speaking with them, but they don't want to talk to me. I don't know what I did. For everyone concerned about me, I am fine. Thank everyone for the birthday wishes. Edit 3. Also everyone, I'm high-functioning autistic. It's a bit difficult to pick up on social cues, and besides the anxiety I'm fine. I'm gonna have a sit down with my parents tomorrow and talk things over. This post kinda painted them as monsters, but I was a very tough kid. Everyone saying to leave and call the state, etc. A psychologist deemed me perfectly capable of being independent if I could work on my anxiety. My parents have been loving, but I could be a troublemaker sometimes. Last post edit. I also don't want to do a 12 update thing. So when I figure out what's going on and if I get answers, I'll post it on a mini post on my own account. No need to flood TIFU. Also thank you for all the requests to send money and gift cards, but this isn't that type of post. Too long, did not read. Family brings me to traditional birthday dinner, expects me to pay for my own food not knowing I don't have any money. This is not how healthy parents do this. If they are trying to get you to be independent, they should have told you before going out that you would be paying for anything that you order, not at the table and not on your birthday. Fellow Aspie here. My sweet, sweet person. You are right in feeling the way you are. Your mother knows you don't have a job. She invited you to a birthday dinner which is traditional in your family, as I understand it, so she has no right to surprise you with a bill like that. Pretty shitty b-day gift if you ask me. The way I see this, your mom is giving in to the pressure from your stepfather, and possibly stepbrother, in an attempt to earn their respect, at the cost of you. You didn't fuck up today, op. Your mother fucking fucked up. Today I fucked up by committing a war crime in class, emptying the classroom and destroying the school bathroom. Okay, so not today, but yesterday, so it's still fresh. On Halloween I ate a lot of junk, plus ingested alcohol and had Mexican after, so there was already a perfect storm brewing. The next day, by second period I was already feeling my insides contort again and my stomach was making noises that were audible to my classmates nearby. During third period I just had this sudden, uncontrollable urge that couldn't wait any longer. I just bolted out of my chair and ran to the door while being pretty much propelled by my farts. By the time I left, the dude sitting next to me was already retching, I assume. What happened to the bathroom can only be described as a war crime. I'm pretty sure they'll needed a hazmat crew to clean it up before it becomes habitable again. It was for real worse than any use of chemical weapons in World War II. It was the kind of turd you don't even bother trying to flush, because by the time I was done I couldn't see the water anymore. Anyway, that restroom was out of order for the day because even the people passing in front of it were complaining the smell. Also, when I came back to class, one found out that everyone had to leave the classroom my fart, so class was basically over. IDK what I do now when I have to come back to this class. Probably going to try to sit quietly alone and ignore everyone. Too long did not read. Ate a lot of junk on Halloween. Gassed out my classmates, destroyed a bathroom and don't know how to face them again today. Class got out early. You're a legend. Halloween's revenge. An odorous ordeal. Everyone loves a good poop story. Stroll in confidently and, boy oh boy, do not order the fish. I'm so sorry op, but I haven't stopped laughing, rolling on the floor laughing, rolling on the floor laughing. So it's still fresh, I bet. You need some Chipotle. Today I fucked up by becoming a high school teacher after doing OnlyFans. I just started teaching high school this year and was super excited since it has always been my dream. I did OnlyFans for a few years right after I turned 18. I already had a pretty big following on Instagram who wanted me to do it, which in hindsight is kind of weird. So I ended up making a lot of money right from the start and I quickly blew up there. I quit doing anything public after 3 years, both because I realized that it could come back around to me, and also because I had a small group of less than 20 men who made up huge portion of my income. So why post for millions of people to see when I can still make a huge income privately with just a small group of guys who adore me and no middleman? I don't regret doing OnlyFans. As a teacher I probably wouldn't be able to buy a house in my area until I'm 50, if at all. Now I own a house that's worth almost $1 million, completely paid for, and I could re-buy it 10 times over and still have money left over. I'm free to pursue my dream of being a teacher without the lifelong financial struggle, so if given the choice I'd 100% do it all over again. That said, I had hoped that after a couple years of not doing anything publicly that people wouldn't piece it together and find my stuff. I did a pretty good job of getting the vast majority of it removed from the internet. If you Google my name nothing comes up at all. They found it before October. It's been the weirdest month of my life. I wasn't in high school that long ago, but I don't remember kids being so crazy. A couple of the boys that first found my photos literally tried to blackmail me. I made them promise not to tell anyone, but apparently it spread like wildfire anyway. I've never had so many awkward interactions in my life with boys that are way too bold for their age. I look like I could pass as a high schooler and I think that makes it way worse. I'm 5'2" and small and even freshmen tower over me. I feel like if I was tall at the very least they wouldn't be as bold. It has also made meeting parents really awkward. I was a runner growing up and I got offered to be an assistant coach of both track and cross country, which is a pretty huge deal. At my high school it seemed like teachers fought over coaching positions and these just fell into my lap for nothing. But now I'm scared because you meet way more parents in after-school activities, and there are some students that are intentionally not being subtle about my past. Now every time I talk to a father who seems excited to talk to me I can't help but wonder if he's just nice, or if he knows. Not really sure what to do at this point. I can deal with the weirdness of it right now. I'm just hoping other teachers and parents don't find out, but I'm not holding my breath. I think the best I can hope for is that I don't get fired and eventually people will forget and move on. Too long did not read. Quit doing OnlyFans and scrubbed it from Google, but students still found out right away and spread it around. Edit. A little overwhelmed by the replies. I didn't think it was that interesting or controversial. Some of you think I should get in front of this by talking to my administration first. You're probably right, but I'd be surprised if they don't already know at this point. I know I have enough money to quit. I'm not working because I have to, I'm working because this is what I want to do. I genuinely love it and I'm good at it. Also, I don't have an account at all anymore. That's years in the past now. I don't have anything tied to this name, so no amount of Googling will find me. And I'm never sending pictures or anything to anyone. This was just me telling my story, not an advertisement. Edit 2. I can tell a lot of you don't realize how much the top creators on OV make, and that's just what's above the table. Everyone on OV tries to do as much as they can off the platform since OV takes such a huge cut. Overall, in a little over 3 years I made about 6 million on OV, and I started with a huge following on Instagram. Some of the other top creators I've met made way more than me. The rest came from other sources. After that I made nearly 2 million from less than 20 of my top fans over 2 years, all outside of OV. Everything else I made outside of those first 3 years. Some of the top creators make million per month just from OV. I didn't bring it up to brag. I only brought it up because I knew people were going to say, "I bet you regret it," and I don't regret it. That's the terrible thing about the internet, it never forgets. So you're claiming you made 10+ million doing OnlyFans for a couple of years? And the kids all know but administration hasn't spoken to you yet? If you're telling the truth, you're making this significant other much worse by having the kids agree to not tell. Reach out to administration right now and explain the situation before you get accused of something truly inappropriate regarding interactions with children. You might lose this job, but you won't face criminal proceedings and you can go into your next job. Not sure why'd you have any kind of regular job, with $10+ mil in the bank. I'd spend my time volunteering or something, being upfront about the situation. Same person was 19 just 4 months ago. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that didn't happen.